Self-doubt is selfish. It whispers that you can't do it, and it tricks you into making it all about you. So think about it. When it's your turn to speak up, to pitch, to lead, and you freeze, who are you thinking of? You're focused on yourself, your fear, your image, your chance of messing up. Meanwhile, the people that you are meant to serve or inspire are left waiting. That's the cost of listening to your self-doubt. If you keep letting it paralyze you, opportunities will slip by, and someone with less talent but more courage will seize the moment instead of you. Your dreams will die while you stand on the sidelines, and that's a harsh truth, and I know you don't want that. Look at one of the richest, most successful entrepreneurs ever, Warren Buffett. Today, Buffett speaks to arenas filled with 40,000 people, but it nearly never happened. Why? He was terrified of public speaking. In his early 20s, just the thought of getting up in front of a group made him physically ill, literally. I was so terrified that I just couldn't do it. I would throw up. I arranged my life so I never had to get up in front of anybody, Buffett said. That is the man known as the Oracle of Omaha, a genius investor, and he was ready to orchestrate his entire career to avoid speaking to even a small crowd. But then he realized if he didn't conquer that fear, his business ambitions would go nowhere. So what did he do? He forced himself to face it. He enrolled in a Dale Carnegie public speaking course after chickening out once before. This time, he literally handed the instructor $100 in cash and said, "Take it before I change my mind." He knew he had to burn the boats, remove any escape route. In that course, Buffett learned something crucial. Get out of your own head. He realized if he could chat with someone one-on-one for 5 minutes before, there was no reason he couldn't talk to 5 or 50 people except his own mindset. And through practice and some psychological tricks, he reworked how he saw those nerves. When his palms got sweaty and heart was pounding, he trained himself to say, "I'm excited," instead of "I'm scared," turning anxiety into anticipation. And it worked. He calls that public speaking certificate the most important degree I have, more vital than his college degrees. Why? Because it set him free. It gave him belief. The man who once ran from every spotlight can now confidently hold court with tens of thousands. His fear was real, but he beat it. And because he did, the world got to benefit from his ideas. Now, you might say, okay, sure, Buffett did it. But Evan, do you know how crippling it feels when it's my turn? Listen, I do. People see me now on big stages and 4 million subscribers on YouTube and think that I was always confident. Nope. Let me take you back to one of the scariest moments of my life. I was invited to speak at an event in Whistler. And on the morning of, I found out the lineup. I'm going right after David Goggins and right before Peyton Manning. Goggins may be the most intense human on the planet, the guy who runs on broken legs and inspires millions with his toughness. And Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, a literal living legend. And then me. In the middle, I'm reading that schedule and my heart stops. Imposter syndrome slams into me like a truck. I thought, what the heck can I possibly say? Why did they put me here? In that instant, I wanted to disappear. My confidence completely froze up. But this is my chance to shine. And every fiber of my being was saying, you don't belong on this stage. Maybe you should just get sick, skip out. It was that bad, that the exact kind of panic you feel when it's your turn and you're convinced that you can't do it. So how did I get out there and speak? I did 2 things. First, I flipped from selfishness to service. I literally told myself, why are you here? Not for your ego, you're here to help. There are people in that audience that need to hear from you. There's something that I can share that even David Goggins or Peyton Manning can't. Peyton knows football, but Peyton doesn't know YouTube. I do. I have unique value I can give to these people. I shifted focus off of me and onto them. So even if I wasn't the most famous name on the stage, I was there for a reason, to serve. Second, I refused to run. This is a personal rule of mine. If something is scary, difficult, hard, and that's the only reason I want to say no, then I have to say yes. I don't want to be the person who runs some hard things. So in that Whistler moment, I asked myself, Evan, are you proud of the reason you're about to back out? And the answer was no. Feeling scared is not a good enough reason. So I squared my shoulders and I walked out on that stage, still shaking, but determined to give as much value as I could. Was I as intense as Goggins or as famous as Manning? No, but I poured everything into serving that audience and it went great. People came up to me afterwards and said my message hit them hard and it was exactly what they needed. If I had let my self-doubt win, I would have robbed those people of a message that could have helped them. And I would have robbed myself of a massive growth experience. Now, I got this question from one of our subscribers, Mr. Ballroom, who asked, when it comes to my turn, I get very, very worried. I feel like I can't do anything. That comment hit me because that was me before and it was Buffett and it was so many of us. Now you might be feeling the same way right now. Your big opportunity comes, all eyes are on you, and suddenly you're trembling, your mind goes blank, you're convinced you're going to fail or look foolish. You feel like you literally can't do anything. But that feeling is a liar. It's not that you can't do anything. It's that you haven't done it yet. You haven't learned the tools to push through that wall of fear. And that's what we're going to change right now in this video. Now, if you've been here before, drop a hashtag believe in the comments below so I can feature you here in a future video. And if you're new, welcome to Believe Nation, the only channel that helps you believe in yourself daily, one video at a time. Believe. Strategy number 1, do it because you're scared. The push. The first strategy is to use fear as your signal to act, not retreat. When your brain says, this is scary, maybe we should back out, you're going to tell yourself the opposite. Make it a habit. If the only reason you're hesitant is fear, then that is your green light. You go. No excuses. Why? Because every time you do the thing you're afraid to do, you teach yourself that fear doesn't control you. You control you. It's like a muscle. You build confidence by doing. Remember Buffett? He knew if he didn't sign up for that class, his fear would win. He had to do the scary thing or live a smaller life. He chose to do it, and each speech, he got a tiny bit better. By the end of the course, he wasn't throwing up anymore. He was actually pretty good as a speaker, but it only happened because he took action while still scared. Stop waiting to not be afraid. That's not how it works. Action is the antidote to fear. When you do the thing, you get evidence that your fear was exaggerated or just plain false. Even if you stumble, you survive it and realize, hey, that wasn't the end of the world. I'm stronger than I thought. Each win builds your identity just a little bit more. You become someone who faces things, not someone who flees. And that shift in mindset is everything. Now, I'm not saying go in blind. Preparation is great, but don't over prepare as an excuse to never actually do the thing. You have to step onto the court and get in the game to get better at the game. Practice under pressure if you can. Science shows that practicing in conditions similar to the real performance improves your success in high pressure situations. So rehearse your speech with a few friends as audience. Simulate that pitch in a setting that feels more real. You'll train your nerves to handle the pressure, the heat. The more you put yourself in game time situations, the more normal it becomes and the less scary it is. You think I magically stopped being afraid of big stages after Whistler? No, I stayed scared, but I kept speaking on more stages. Every new rep, I was a little less shaky, a little more confident. I went on to a 23 city speaking tour to purposely push my comfort zone. We did 23 cities in 90 days. I even fainted in Denver and broke my neck, and I still kept going. Why? Because I asked myself, am I proud of the reason to stop? And the answer was no. I wasn't going to quit just because it got hard. I put on my neck brace. This is a true story. It still sits here on my shelf there. I put on my neck brace and I continued to tour. You don't need to break your neck like I did. Please don't. But you do need that level of resolve. If fear is the only thing holding you back, then there is no way in hell that you're going to let fear win. Make that your mindset. Also, if you want to take real action after this video, I made a free worksheet just for you. It covers the top lessons from today, gives you space to write your biggest takeaways, and helps you build a simple action plan. It's 100% free. Just click the link in the description to go grab it. Let's start building some real momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Believe. Strategy number 2, focus on service, not yourself, the hug. This is the flip side of the coin. Your doubt loves to make you the star of a horror movie in your mind. The spotlight's on you when you're getting booed and laughed at, exposed. It's all me, me, me. It's time to get out of your head and put the spotlight where it belongs, on the people that you are serving. So here's what I do whenever I feel those nerves. I find one person to help. I'll literally meet someone in the audience beforehand or imagine a viewer who's struggling, and I lock in on being useful to that one person. I ask myself, why are you getting on this stage at this meeting on this video? The answer is never for my big ego, right? The answer is to help. You have knowledge, experience, energy that can change someone's life or at least change their day. That's why you're here. Even if you're just pitching your startup to investors, don't think of it as I need their money and I'm begging. No, think I have an opportunity that's going to make their money grow and make customer lives better. I am here to give them a gift. See the difference? Now you're coming from a place of service and value, not insecurity and weakness. Evan Carmichael on stage in full ego mode is a disaster. Evan Carmichael on stage in service mode can do anything. And it's the same for you. Service mode kills self-doubt because your mind shifts from what do they think of me to how can I make them better? When I was freaking out about following Goggins and Manning, I calmed down by saying someone in this crowd needs my message. I might be the only person to hear it from in a way that makes it stick for them. Suddenly it's not about me anymore. It's about them. And I can't wait to help. Even if my voice cracks or I forget a line, if I connect with that one person who needs it. I've done my job. I literally tell myself, even if I suck, hopefully I can get through to a couple people today. My intention is to serve and to help. And that mindset shift is everything. At least it is for me. Try it. The next time you feel that wave of worry, consciously flip it. Focus on one face in the room, one person you know, or even your past self who needed someone to step up for them. Speak to that one person. Make it about delivering a message or an outcome that helps them, not about protecting your pride. Gratitude here can help too. Be grateful for the chance to touch someone's life rather than fearful of what they'll think. When you operate from service, authenticity comes out naturally. Your passion shows. And guess what? People respond to it. They don't care if you're not the most polished presenter, if they feel your heart and they receive value. Ironically, focusing on others also makes you perform better because you're not overanalyzing yourself in the moment. You become a conduit for a message instead of the victim of your own self-doubt. So hug the audience, figuratively, or even literally if it's appropriate, with your attention. Love on them. Give. You'll find there isn't room in your head for fear when your heart is full of service. Strategy number 3, reframe the story you're telling yourself. Self-doubt ultimately lives in your head. It's a story. It's a voice-over narrative that says, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'm going to fail. To overcome it, you have to change the internal narrative in real time. To do that, reframe what failure means in that moment. A huge part of self-doubt is fear of failure or embarrassment. Okay, so let's play that out. What if you do stumble on your words, or your demo crashes, or you get a tough question that you don't know how to answer? In your head, that's a catastrophe. But in reality, it's just feedback. It's a lesson. If you fail in front of people, guess what? You survived, right? You might even get a laugh from the crowd and humanize yourself for a minute. Or you learn exactly what to improve the next time. Failure feels like it's final, like you're dying, but that's just your ego talking. It's actually growth. I recently did an interview with an entrepreneur named Alvin that fell apart due to tech issues, but it became one of the best stories and confidence builders. Why? Because we owned it instead of running. I told him the easiest thing to do was to not post it. This was an interview that he had tech issues. He was in an Airbnb. He was losing connection every 5 minutes. He would come in, ask the question, and then freeze, and I would answer the question. And then we just pretty horrible experience. And I was laughing at it. Like, I really hope that he posts his video because it's such a great example of moving forward when there's a lot of problems where most people would quit. So the confidence building thing to do is to make the best of what you've got and you keep going. He posted it, glitches and all, and it ended up being inspiring because it was real. We turned that failure into a win. Do the same thing with your fear. Decide that even if the worst happens, you'll figure it out and keep moving. Decide now that no failure is going to stop you. When you take away that fear of failure, self-doubt has nothing left to hold over you. Here's another powerful identity reframe. Stop saying I'm not a confident person or I'm just bad at public speaking. Don't attach those labels to who you are. They're not set in stone. Instead, you can tell yourself, I'm learning to be a great speaker, or I'm becoming the kind of leader who steps up. Do you recognize the difference? You're not stuck as one thing. You're always in progress if you want to be. You're the kind of person who grows. Every single time you face fear and you do it anyway, you are literally redefining yourself in your own eyes. You go from someone who doubts to someone who does, from someone who worries to someone who works it out. It doesn't happen overnight, but each decision is a vote for the new identity that you want in yourself. And you can borrow belief during that transition. Maybe right now you don't fully believe that you can be the bold, confident version of you. Cool. Borrow my belief in it until you get there. Borrow a famous entrepreneur's belief in it until you get there. I know you can do this. How? I've seen so many entrepreneurs, so many shy, nervous, everyday people transform by just following these principles. They weren't born ready. They built themselves up step by step. If they can, if I can, if a 21-year-old Buffett could, then why not you? Why not you? There is zero reason why you can't be the person who shines when it becomes your turn. So the next time that spotlight hits you and you feel the nerves, you'll remember this. Self-doubt is not invited to this party. You will push through fear by taking action. You will focus on serving. You will flip those nerves and excitement into growth. That's your new story. Not that you can't do anything when it's your turn, but that you show up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's who you are becoming, a leader who leads, a speaker who speaks, a doer who does. You can do this. In fact, you're going to do this. Starting now. You're here right now, working on yourself, and that already sets you apart from the masses. So I want to acknowledge you for showing up and doing the work to conquer your self-doubt. And congratulations, you're one video closer to who you're meant to be. Believe. If you want to overcome your fear of not achieving, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there. You are not behind in life. You are just stuck in fear. Fear tells you that you're not good enough or fast enough, but the only way you actually fall behind is if you stand still. If you refuse to move, your fear becomes your reality.